And so the president comes across now to be introduced, first of all, to the Cork men. And their captain is 20-year-old Philip Clifford. Huge day for Philip Clifford. He's had a wonderful season so far, lifting the National League Cup, lifting the Munster Cup as well, and hoping it'll be 3 in a row. Kevin O'Dwyer, of course, the goalkeeper. Ronan McCarthy, there's Sean O'Go-Halfine in the middle there. Sean hoping to be just the second man ever in the history of the GAA to win hurling and football medals in the one season. There's Michael Curley from Galway, first time to handle an All-Ireland senior final. Pat McEnany is the other man there, who was in charge in 1996. And of course, before moving into the Oris a couple of years ago, Mary McAleese used to live in Meath, so she'll have a big interest in today's match.
Certainly will, Ger. I'd expect that she'll be entirely neutral in favour of Meath, going for a Meath down double, I suppose.
Nigel Nesta there, Trevor Giles as well, and Donald Curtis. Evan Kelly. This is Ollie Murphy. Graham, of course, himself will be at full forward.
We have Trevor Giles in the new style jersey there. I think he has picked up a couple of fines for Meath for wearing a jersey without sleeves.
I just thought he was trying to give you a little nudge in his direction for the team going to Aussie land, but of course he is in your panel.
He is in the panel and he'll be an important member of that panel. We depart next Saturday, and I suppose from my point of view, I just hope it's not a draw, because we have 6 lads playing today who are all off to Australia. We're playing Australia on Friday week in Melbourne.
Yeah, don't mention the war. We're hoping for a result today, as they say. And that's that jersey without the sleeves. He favours it. He's been using it in the last couple of matches. And so the teams parade behind their captains, Graham Geraghty of Meath and Philip Clifford from Bantry Blues. The Canal End still taking shape. A wonderful atmosphere here at Croke Park. A match which is being viewed all over the globe. And among those watching abroad today are Meath Kiley and Kevin Hayes in the Cayman Islands, Michael J. O'Keefe from Knocknagree in Sacramento, and lots of people everywhere and anywhere, like Eamon Lyons and the Blarney in Philadelphia. And I know that Frank Campbell and Cheryl married yesterday in New York, and they've got into a pub somewhere today to be sure that they can see what's taking place. Also, I want to mention Garda James Kelly in Bosnia. But I can tell you we had about 400 or 500 letters into all kinds of offices this week with mentions, and sadly it's impossible to include everybody. But wherever you're watching it, hope you enjoy it today. It's Meath's 8th All-Ireland final appearance under Sean Boylan. And just let's have a chat about the tactics here, because we've seen in the past how the half-forward line is often sucked into midfield, and the corner forwards then are allowed a little bit of room inside. There's plenty of space. Very often they play with just 2 inside forwards, Graham Geraghty, Ollie Murphy. Will there be a temptation today to maybe put 3 against 3?
No, I don't think so. I think Meath will play 2 up, Ollie Murphy and Graham Geraghty. I still think there's a bit of a doubt about Ollie Murphy's knee. He hasn't been going that well in training from what I have seen of it. I think he's feeling it a little bit still, and Meath need him badly. I think Cork probably will send Sean O'Go-Halfine after Evan Kelly if Evan Kelly goes out the pitch. And on the Meath side, I would expect that Darren Fay and Mark O'Reilly will stay inside, and that Cormac Murphy may follow Don Davis if he goes out the pitch. But Meath don't want to get caught again with Darren Fay out the field away from his full-back position as they did against Armagh.
Well, already he's got a hurling medal to his credit. A very, very pleasant young man. is just after qualifying, and that's his mother in there. His sister's there as well, his mother Emily, and his dad is there also. They see themselves on the big screen, so give us a wave, ladies. There you are, the huge screen above Hill 16, conveying the pictures, creating part of the atmosphere. Not that there's much need to create, just look at that sea of colour up on Hill 16. It doesn't belong to any one team. A mixture of the green and gold of Meath, the red and white of Cork.
I think that's just the great thing about this All-Ireland, to see Hill 16 like that, with the crowd mingling among themselves. Great rivalry between Cork and Meath, of course. Fairly tough and hard over the years, but it's great to see the spectators mingling together and enjoying the occasion.
And I think it's fair to say also that both counties have the height of respect for one another.
No doubt about that. I think today's game, though, may be more open than games in the past. The ground is slightly slippery. We had a shower of rain here out of a blue sky, which was amazing in the minor game. There's a slight wind blowing towards the railway goal. It's not very much. I expect Meath to do as usual, that if they win the toss,
they have won the toss.
They have won the toss, yeah. And I expect they'll be playing towards the canal goal, because Meath normally do that, play against the wind in the first half, hope to have the wind behind them to finish.
It seems to be a trait always to play into that canal goal. I remember a certain goal by Meath against Dublin. A certain big, tall, lanky guy came in on John O'Leary. First minute of the match.
Yes, well, John must have got blinded by the sun that day, I think, and he allowed the ball to pass harmlessly in, but I claimed the goal anyway, but it wasn't usual for me to score a goal. So
we'll mention of goals. There have only been 3 goals in All-Ireland finals ever between Meath and Cork. Terry Kearns got one in 1967. In 1987, you fell on the ball, I think, did you? And it went in off your shin. And then there was Teddy McCarthy. He's the only Cork man to score a goal against Meath.
So it's interesting. The goal I got in '87 was a goal-mouth scramble, and I managed to get my fist to the ball in just a complete ruck of players in there. It ends up in the corner.
It got goal of the year, didn't it?
And I think Teddy McCarthy's in '88. He kicked it through Mickey McQuillan's legs. It was coming out. So most of the goals that have been scored have been of the sort of freak variety.
Well, that's just by the way. The real action begins in just a couple of moments from now. The anthem will be sung by Paul Hennessy, accompanied by the Artane Boys Band, and Paul tells me his sister Anria is in hospital at the moment and he wants to wish her well. Cork line up on the 45-metre line, all together. Meath are going into their various lines, full back line up to full forward line.
Will now be played by the Artane Boys Band and will be sung by Mr. Paul Hennessy. Around the Meath.
What a cheer. So the fans take their seats. That's on the new Cusack, the Nally over there, the Hogan stand, the band making its way off. It is Meath who will play from left to right against a very, very light breeze. Beautiful sunshine. Couple of switches in the Meath forward line already. Michael Curley from Galway about to start.
Those switches are the same as Meath have made in every game. Evan Kelly out to right half forward, Ollie Murphy switching corners, Donald Curtis at left corner, he'll come out the pitch, Nigel Nesser at left half forward.
So the start of the 112th All-Ireland football final And Meath going into their first attack. This is back out here once again towards John McDermott. Looking for a bit of assistance, getting it as well. Meath comes storming through there. Very good burst forward that time, and it results in a first free in. Good work by Nigel Crawford, the midfielder. That's Anthony Lynch. So it'll be Trevor Giles who will hit this first free of the All-Ireland football final. 35 to 38 metres out. There's the angle that confronts him. It's hit, but it's hit to the left-hand side, and it's the first wide of the match, and a puzzled look on the face of Trevor Giles. Well, he'll be hoping to get his first score as quickly as possible. Kevin O'Dwyer kicking short this time, fumbled by Kieran O'Sullivan. Pushing up that time was Nigel Nestor. Trevor Giles once again thought about the hand pass. Fouled. The foul is by Micheál O'Sullivan. Free quickly taken towards Ollie Murphy. Anthony Lynch is doing the marking job. Murphy, right knee very heavily strapped. Good ball inside. Kelly fisting it over the bar. Evan Kelly. That first score is taken under 2 minutes. Very good use of the fist by Evan Kelly, coming in from the right half forward position. What lovely combined play, and a delightful pass out as far as Ollie Murphy to set all of that up. Micheál O'Sullivan lets it spill in through his hands. Micheál O'Croneen was the man who was dragged down that time by Hank Traynor. Cork at the free kick. Micheál O'Sullivan taking it. Huge one down towards Mark O'Sullivan, and he's been marked this afternoon by Mark O'Reilly. He's looking for a really big game, played really well here in the league quarter-final, but since then his season hasn't really taken off in a big way.
The kickouts too are interesting. Kevin O'Dwyer has had 2 kickouts. He's trying to keep the ball away from John McDermott in the middle of the field. Cormac O'Sullivan for Meath will obviously be trying to hit McDermott with each kick out.
And here is the first one. McDermott racing across towards it, but it's Micheál O'Croneen from Nevabawn, and Ballyvourney who takes it down. Not cleanly away, however. This is Enda McManus. Good use of the pass. Nicely forward by Hank Traynor. Inside towards Ollie Murphy. Good chest control here by Murphy, trying to get away from Lynch. And even though he was off balance, he still managed to swing the leg to it, but he's put it again to the left, and another wide for Meath. Well, they have the only point of the match so far, and he's limping, and that is ominous. Maybe he can run it off, but certainly an injury here also to Anthony Lynch. He's got the onerous task this afternoon of marking Ollie Murphy. Sean O'Halpine, by the way, has started at full-back, even though there was speculation in all the papers that he might switch with Ronan McCarthy. But it's O'Halpine against Graham Geraghty, and Murphy is okay.
Yes, so there's no doubt about it that Ollie Murphy is limping on that right leg, and it was interesting, the first ball he got, he wouldn't take on his man the way he normally would, so he's obviously not able to jink off it.
This is one here by Podsy O'Mahony. Podsy has options inside. Don Davis starting at full forward, even though you expect him to roam around a bit. This is Philip Clifford, the team captain. Players feeling ahead of him. One of them was Micheál O'Croneen. Still Clifford, the boundary man, feeding it into Podsy O'Mahony, looking for an equaliser, looking for something here, and he's put it across the face of goal, and Mark O'Sullivan couldn't contain it. Still there, Joe Kavanagh. Good block down here. This is one here beautifully. Evan Kelly driving at a good 40 metres. Ollie Murphy goes to ground once again. It's Graham Geraghty there. A nudge into the back, however, by Owen Sexton. Free to Meath. And once again, the free is being entrusted to Trevor Giles. And his Cork marker, who is Owen Sexton from Kilbrittain. Slow to retreat the requisite distance. So Trevor Giles playing in his 26th championship match. Scored a total of 210, or 110 rather, in the 2 All-Ireland finals back in 1996. Looking for the first of the day, and that's a beautifully struck kick, and that's over the bar. So Trevor Giles converts his second free. Meath have a second point, and it's Meath's 2 points, Cork no score. Quickly outside here towards Martin Cronin. This is O'Halpine going short this time. Kieran O'Sullivan trying to get away, gets the free. Punting this one down in over the full back line, but Mark O'Reilly has read it brilliantly. Mark O'Sullivan a bit slow to react. It's O'Reilly against O'Sullivan trying to dispossess him. O'Reilly regaining his composure. Here's Enda McManus, centre half back. Up towards Donald Curtis, being marked there by Ronan McCarthy, beautifully taken by the Cork number 2. Struggling to get that ball away, however, getting assistance from Sean O'Halpine. Here's Sexton. Down towards the attack. Philip Clifford unable to hold on to it. It's Mark O'Reilly who is held back there, and it's Mark O'Reilly who wins the free for Meath. He started very prominently in the Meath full back line, covering well. John McDermott. Donald Curtis slipped. Easy one in the end for Ronan McCarthy. Having difficulty getting it away, however. They're playing it very, very short and getting themselves into trouble, and in the end it's Martin Cronin who slides in on Evan Kelly and concedes the free kick. Meath have made the better start to this match. Poor kick, however. Good reaction here by Sean O'Halpine. Here's Joe Kavanagh. Can be a huge influence towards Philip Clifford, and bundled away by Cormac Murphy. Good to see Cormac Murphy back in the Meath team this year. He's had a lot of injury problems. This is Clifford. Inside beyond Podsy O'Mahony. Cork's game plan hasn't started working yet, and Larry Tompkins looks a bit concerned. Larry, who won All-Ireland medals, of course, in 1989 and 1990, captaining Cork that day against Meath. Again, the kick out from Cormac O'Sullivan directed towards John McDermott. Hank Traynor now picking up the pieces. Again, it's O'Halpine has started well against Graham Geraghty. He's getting out to the ball first time. Difficult one to take. Cork do well. That's Podsy O'Mahony getting it out. Support here once again from Micheál O'Croneen. Farron Whalethot. Here's Philip Clifford. Trying to go by Cormac Murphy. Philip Clifford succeeds. This is Clifford looking to try and put Cork's first point on the board, but the final shot a bit wayward. But at least it's interesting, he's prepared to take it at defenders. Well, he's
yes, Philip Clifford is running at, but Cork are having great trouble getting the ball out of defence. It suits me perfectly if Cork persist with that short passing style in defence. No better team in the country to cut down on backs trying to come out with the ball with those short passes.
An 8th All-Ireland final today for Sean Boylan. That's fisted back down there by Micheál O'Sullivan. Here's Don Davis, taking it by Darren Fay. The fist inside towards Clifford. A chance here perhaps. And finally that ball has gone to the left. Just what it seemed he had to get the first point for Cork this afternoon. But the fans on the hill who are supporting Cork still encouraging him to take it past the defender time and again.
Well, a great opportunity for Cork there. Philip Clifford should have put it across to Mark O'Sullivan, totally free in front of the goals, but the problem was caused there. Don Davis is coming out from full forward, and at the moment Darren Fay is not following him, and that's where the problem for Meath started there.
Well, that kick out has gone right over the sideline, and the mistake may be punished by Cork. John McDermott goes sliding in. Podsy O'Mahony is there as well. Comes back out once again. Joe Kavanagh down towards Mark O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan getting away this time from Mark O'Reilly, and this time his kick is a good one, and Mark O'Sullivan has put the ball over the bar. Cork get a point. It's taken them 10 minutes. Well, that'll do O'Sullivan's confidence a great deal of good, because it's now 2 points to 1. It was a lovely ball fed into him, just in front of him, and he had the speed to get away from the marker. Credit that to Joe Kavanagh. Lovely ball. Good work here by O'Sullivan to take him away from the Meath covering. Again, a very curious kick out by Cormac Sullivan. Enda McManus, and this time he's put it out over the sideline. Already an early injury there to Anthony Lynch. He was treated for that a little while ago. This is Martin Cronin, the Nemo Rangers man. Mark O'Reilly standing back well, bouncing it down, taking command of the situation. Martin Cronin getting out ahead of Evan Kelly. This is Nicholas Murphy. Martin Cronin, beautifully taken by Clifford once again. Nicely back towards Podsy O'Mahony, and Podsy has the chance, and he has spurned the opportunity. That was a really good chance for Podsy O'Mahony to get his first point of the day, but no joy for him. Kicked 4 points in the Munster final and 3 in the All-Ireland semi-final. Well, Meath so far have a total of 2 wides, but Cork with a total of 5. Fisted down by Murphy once again. Enda McManus getting on his hands and knees, but it's won back again by Cork, and Podsy O'Mahony. Don Davis is out to his right-hand side. Cork with just a 2-man inside forward line. Joe Kavanagh. A real hit and hope one. Sun in the goalkeeper's eyes, and he does really well. That wasn't easy. With Mark O'Sullivan coming in on top of him, he held control of the football, and Meath break away once more. John McDermott, bad pass. Donald Curtis claiming it and saying it went off Owen Sexton. It's Meath's sideline ball. Donald Curtis there, who works in the Navan golf course, ensuring that the greens and the fairways are in excellent condition. This is Trevor Giles. A real ambitious one that. Intended for Enda McManus, but instead it was Micheál O'Croneen who picked it up. Here's Hank Traynor. Back once again here. Ollie Murphy's come away from the goal on the 45-metre line, in fact. That's in towards Evan Kelly. Graham Geraghty's there as well. But so too is the Cork half-back, Martin Cronin. Fouled on a free out. Referee in no doubt. Very quickly taken free. Nigel Crawford was coming onto it. Instead it spills loose to Owen Sexton. Sexton eventually knocked to the ground by John McDermott. Nothing terribly malicious. Referee is a quiet word, and he's noted the number of John McDermott. Joe Kavanagh's free kick down to Mark O'Sullivan. And this time it's Darren Fay who was dragged back. The foul by Don Davis. Well, rated the best full-back in the business right now. There's Mark O'Sullivan, the scorer of Cork's only point so far. And as most people expected, a pretty tight situation between these teams. Nicholas Murphy was going back, almost getting in the way of Owen Sexton. Cork get it back as far as Don Davis. Micheál O'Sullivan pushing up from midfield. Transferred to Micheál O'Croneen. Don Davis taking it once again. This is Joe Kavanagh. 5 Meath players around him, and he still manages to get the latitude to boot it over the bar and get the equaliser. So Joe Kavanagh, who got the opening goal of the 1993 All-Ireland final, Cork against Derry, gets the second point here. So the teams are level. Joe recovering, or trying to recover from the injury, and it's Cork 2, Meath 2. Well, so far in this match, Joe Kavanagh has certainly been delivering. That was a superbly taken point, but his passing has been so astute as well.
Yes, Cork will try to get the ball to Kavanagh, because if he doesn't score himself, he's a brilliant player to set up others for scores. Meath have a bit of a problem here with Don Davis coming out the pitch and getting a loose ball, and Darren Fay staying behind.
Well, this is the dilemma they face, of course. You take Darren Fay away from in front of the goal area where he's at his very best, or does he go out and follow Don Davis? Enda McManus is following Davis right now, but following the ball is Kieran O'Sullivan. Free to Cork. This is Nicholas Murphy. John McDermott touching the ball on the ground, and it's going to be a free in for Cork. Free from about 50 metres out. Don wanted to take it quickly. In fact, at the end, it's Micheál O'Croneen who takes it, and he's put it over the sideline. Well, we've seen that happen a couple of times so far in the match, something which players of this calibre ordinarily wouldn't do, and I think it's just down to the pressure of the occasion.
Well, with 15 minutes gone, Cork have had the better of things and should be a couple of points in front, with poor shooting has let Meath off the hook to an extent.
Nigel Nestor fisted that one on. This is Ronan McCarthy picking out Micheál O'Sullivan. Nicholas Murphy. Big test of the Cork midfield duo, how they will do against John McDermott in particular, and also, of course, Nigel Crawford. Philip Clifford appealing, and the appeals work because the linesman across there, Brendan Gorman from Armagh, has given the kick. In fact, it's Pat McEnany's on that far side, and he's given the kick Cork's way.
Must be a bit of a problem down that side of the pitch with the sun. I see a lot of players with their hands up to their eyes trying to see where the ball is coming from.
Cork goes short to Don Davis. Nice turn. Enda McManus, however, stayed with him the whole time. This time trying to pick out Donald Curtis, but again a wayward pass. And absolutely nothing the Rathkenny player could do about it. And Larry Tompkins up and down the sideline the whole time, urging his men on. Kicked in by Joe Kavanagh. It was intended for Philip Clifford. Instead it's won back by Meath once again. John McDermott way back in his own full back line towards Graham Geraghty. Cork there in numbers, however, on the 65-metre line. That's Micheál O'Sullivan from Carbery Rangers. Cork get the decision. It'll be the other O'Sullivan, Kieran O'Sullivan, who takes this inside towards Don Davis. Little solo hop. Kieran O'Sullivan once more, fancying his chances, but where does it end up? It ends up to the right of the upright. So now 6 wides kicked by Cork. A lot of opportunities gone a-begging, and the very slight breeze, as really is a very, very slight breeze, it's favouring Cork for the opening 35 minutes. If anything, a greater hazard today is the sun in the goalkeeper's eyes down there. Great catch, John McDermott, and there, that was wonderful. Trevor Giles wanted to take the free kick quickly, but his marker was too close to him. This is for Ollie Murphy. They tried to pick out this danger man. Anthony Lynch trying to curb his threat. Nice little solo by Ollie Murphy. Good block down by Lynch. That's one of his trademarks. To Ronan McCarthy. Ronan is held by Donald Curtis. Free out to Cork. It's taken quickly. Here's Micheál O'Sullivan. Down towards Mark O'Sullivan. Spills beyond him. Here's Darren Fay. Picking out John McDermott once again. They have a very good understanding. Nicely to the centre to Nigel Crawford. McDermott again towards Trevor Giles. Booted in the general direction of Graham Geraghty. Down it breaks to Ollie Murphy, and here's the chance. It was a good scoring chance at that, and he's missed it. 3 wides for Meath. But that was a pretty good scoring opportunity. This was McDermott's catch, and the first thought that went through my mind, Australian rules magic.
Yes, and I suppose great block there by Anthony Lynch was in trouble. You'd wonder about Ollie Murphy. Is he as sharp as normal? That sort of a chance he usually would take with ease.
Well, a great block, a missed opportunity by Murphy, and a great catch by John McDermott, all in the last piece of action. That's fisted down this time to Martin Cronin. 3 Meath men confronting him. Kieran O'Sullivan getting it out to Micheál O'Sullivan. Pretty good sound effects in the background. That's McDermott. He's fouled after he kicked the ball away by Philip Clifford, and it means now it's a free from where the ball lands, which is about 45 metres out from the Cork goal. Well, that error on the part of Clifford may well be penalised. It's on the 45-metre line, but a bit more from the goal than 45 metres because of the angle. Inside nicely here towards Nigel Nestor. Not usually noted as a scorer, and he's lost it in any case. Cork have it back. Here's O'Halpine. Out to Micheál O'Sullivan, man of the match in the Munster final win. This is Mark O'Sullivan again, losing out to Mark O'Reilly, and O'Reilly is so good and so quick at adjusting his footing. Very rarely beaten for pace. And likewise John McDermott, who's a real inspiration in their midfield.
Well, in that situation, the Cork forwards weren't showing out in front of their men for the ball. Again, it's easy to hide in behind, but Mark O'Sullivan will have to try and get out in front of Mark Riley if he's going to get any possession.
Don Davis, by the way, has gone back in towards the orthodox full-back position just for now, and as I speak he's drifted out once more, and Darren Fay has followed him. This is one back here by Nigel Crawford. Nigel is now studying law and business studies at UCD. Anthony Lynch appreciating the difficulty, came off the little flag, but it's outside the playing area as it comes back once again, and it's booted by Donald Curtis, and it's put over the bar. Straight from the sideline kick, Curtis kicks it over. Well, he's a kind of play anywhere fellow, and it's 3 points to 2. This is Micheál O'Croneen. And again the pass going out over the sideline, and Meath get it back. Let's go to the sideline and to Marty Morrissey.
Indeed, from a tactical point of view, Larry Tompkins has been concerned about the attacking ploys failing so far, has told Mark O'Sullivan to adopt a more traditional full forward position as Don Davis does the tour around Croke Park. And I can also tell you that Larry Tompkins is possibly going to make a change in his attack in the next 5 minutes or so.
Well, that's interesting. Let's see what develops as Cork get it back with Micheál O'Croneen and Sean O'Halpine belting it in there towards Mark O'Sullivan, who, as you say, has gone back in towards the more usual number 14 position. This is Hank Traynor, and that's possession for Meath. Sean Boylan in the background there, lots of advice coming the players' way. Trevor Giles hitting it towards McDermott, and it spills away from his grasp, and Cork will have possession. Good work there by Cork's number 9, Micheál O'Sullivan. Ready to take the sideline kick himself. And of course we've had a lot of rain here in the Dublin area over the past week, so the ground is a little bit slippy. Appeals all around, but the linesman is adamant, and Don Davis not quite concurring with Pat McEnany. That's a little unusual. Kieran O'Sullivan belting it back. Darren Fay takes it. John McDermott now. Support ahead of him. This is Evan Kelly. Promising move here. Donald Curtis once again. Back to Trevor Giles. They chase, they harry. That was Joe Kavanagh back doing the defending. Curtis nicely across. Final shot there was Nigel Crawford. Graham Gerrity's after it. And good work by O'Halpine. That's not a good pass out, but it does come good in the end to Owen Sexton. Meath leading. Won back brilliantly here by Darren Fay. Did well to stay on his feet. Here's Trevor Giles. Very clever player. Always tries to pick out someone. It's a huge ball inside there towards Graham Gerrity. Broken down towards Ollie Murphy. And Ollie Murphy scores! It's a goal for Meath. 25 minutes are gone. Brilliant opportunism by Meath. It's 1-3 to 2 points. But I think a man who takes an awful lot of the credit is Trevor Giles. It was knocked down by Graham Gerrity to Ollie Murphy, who beat Kevin O'Dwyer. The first goal of the game. Kieran O'Sullivan belting it down for Cork, who look for a rapid response. Players on the ground, two players colliding there. Paddy Reynolds wanted to take the free kick quickly, but the referee, I think, seeing that attention is required. Nigel Crawford's down injured, and one of the Cork players as well, and maybe Podsy O'Mahony. It's not Podsy, Podsy's on his feet. I think it's probably Nicholas Murphy from Carrigaline.
Well, the Meath goal has gone along with the growing influence of John McDermott around the middle of the field. Cork had a very good patch for 10 minutes, didn't get the scores. Meath are coming back into it. McDermott has been doing very well around the middle of the field, and I suppose yes, a clash of heads there between Nigel Crawford and Nicholas Murphy, but that dispels any doubts, I think, about the fitness of Ollie Murphy as well, the way he took that goal.
Yeah, it was taken brilliantly. This time Owen Sexton can't contain it, and it's Evan Kelly who comes forward once again. Another menacing run here, trying to nab his way through the heart of the Cork defence. Plenty of bodies back there in the red shirts, and in the end there's a foul by Ollie Murphy. Free out quickly. Here's Nicholas Murphy back to Martin Cronin, switching all around the place. This is Don Davis, ready to take on Enda McManus. Cork will feel they need scores quickly. Micheál Cronin inside, beyond Philip Clifford. They claim there was a foul there. In fact, it was Podsy O'Mahony who was dragged back. Podsy limping just a little. And Don Davis is down and needs attention from Dr. Con Murphy. Well, the spray applied to the wound, and they'll be hoping he's back on his feet quickly and buzzing as usual. Philip Clifford, the team captain, taking this free on the 20-metre line. This to put a goal between the teams. He's caught it well. His first point of the day from a free. Cork fans a little bit happier, but no doubt rocked by the Ollie Murphy goal a little while ago, because it's now 1-3 to 3 points.
Well, Graham Geraghty does very well, knocks it down to Ollie Murphy, and Anthony Lynch gets caught in slightly the wrong position, and Ollie puts it across them, very similar to the goal he scored in the Leinster final against Dublin. Good work by Geraghty. He hasn't been doing that well recently, and Sean O'Halpine had started very well at full-back for Cork.
Huge kick out. John McDermott contesting with Nicholas Murphy, who wins it. That's Micheál O'Sullivan towards Philip Clifford. It's fisted away by Cormac Murphy. Back to John McDermott once again. Beats the attempted block. Pressure on the Cork backs once more. Evan Kelly takes it delightfully, and that's kicked over the bar. That's a great point. Evan Kelly with his second point of this final. And you really felt that time that Cork had enough bodies back to have dealt with the situation, dangerous and all as it was. But it's now 1-4 to 3 points.
Well, Evan Kelly has started in fantastic form for Meath. He's having the beating of Martin Cronin on this side of the field most of the time, and Meath are putting the ball in this direction.
He's had 2 shots at the target. He's had 2 points as well. This is Kieran O'Sullivan inside towards Owen Sexton. A long way to go. This is Martin Cronin, seen as an attacking force. Inside towards Don Davis. Possibilities here. Don floating this one, and Don has put it wide. It's been the story of the first half so far. Cork with so many chances, and now 8 wides in all. And that was a really good opportunity.
Yes, that was a chance for Don to take another solo, and he'd been right in on the goalkeeper. Shot very hastily, and a very bad wide when Cork need a point.
Cormac O'Sullivan varying it somewhat. Fisted back down by Rhoda McCarthy, but only as far as Nigel Crawford. Good use of possession once again, inside towards Graham Geraghty. Trying to steal a march here on Sean O'Halpine, who started well. Geraghty. Nice, intelligent use inside of possession once again towards Nigel Nestor. Bottled up. Kieran O'Sullivan and Sean O'Halpine, it spills away from them. Hank Traynor playing it forward towards Ollie Murphy. Back down again, Graham Geraghty comes forward. Still Geraghty. aware that he could have held on and touched the ball on the ground. He had support there from Paddy Reynolds as well, who was way up with the attack. Well, the referee, I think, opting to throw the ball in. Micheál O'Sullivan and John McDermott making themselves ready for action. This is Paddy Reynolds. Good work by Paddy Reynolds. Nobody able to get a block on it, but Reynolds has kicked it poorly. Kevin O'Dwyer here, 25-year-old Garda from Skibbereen. He's serving in Kanturk and he's kicking from the canal end here. Not a space to be found among the terraces and in the stands. Over the head of Nicholas Murphy. This is Paddy Reynolds. He's come much more into the match in the last few minutes. Taking it back from Trevor Giles. Not a good ball, straight to Martin Cronin. Trying to open up the Meath defence. Philip Clifford trying to get a touch on it. Micheál O'Croneen, UCC man, Neva Vaughan as well. Nicely in for Podsy O'Mahony. Cork look for a response here, and Podsy O'Mahony has put it over the bar. Podsy from Ballincollig with his first point of the day. A vital contribution because a goal between the teams once more. A real free-flowing movement here. Lovely hand pass inside by Micheál O'Croneen, who stayed down injured after this, but a great finish by Podsy O'Mahony. Well, O'Croneen is back on his feet once again. Tough young man who's playing in just his second championship game. And Hank Traynor has been given the yellow card, so it's the first yellow card of the match for the Meath number 7. O'Sullivan's kick directed in towards the tall men at midfield again. Hank Traynor trying to take possession. That scramble there with Micheál O'Sullivan. It'll be Meath's ball.
That booking of Hank Traynor took place for, I think, a late tackle on Micheál O'Croneen when he had put Podsy O'Mahony in for that point.
Here's Nigel Nestor. Back to Paddy Reynolds once again. Nicely forward for Donald Curtis. Ronan McCarthy trying to dispossess him. Beautiful ball to Evan Kelly. What a match he's playing. What a kick. 3 kicks at the target. 3 points by Evan Kelly. There are days, I suppose, when fellas come along and play the game of their life, and Evan Kelly is doing that just now. He's made it 1-5 to 4 points.
Yes, Evan Kelly's on fire for Meath here on the right wing. Martin Cronin giving him plenty of room, and Kelly is really punishing him.
Well, you feel that Cork may make a switch with Kieran O'Sullivan and Martin Cronin pretty soon if this continues. Nigel Crawford belting it back in. That's Ronan McCarthy. Anthony Lynch back to Cronin once again. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan, who's a very tight marker, and I would not at all be surprised if he was given the job of picking up Kelly pretty soon. Here comes Podsy O'Mahony. Paddy Reynolds alongside him. Still Podsy. Nicholas Murphy calling for it. Good little block there by Paddy Reynolds. Did just enough to take the heat out of it. Here's Enda McManus. Trevor Giles now for Meath. Very much the architect of that goal. Nigel Nestor. A minute of time remaining in the first half. Nestor drives it in towards Graham Geraghty once again. Touchdown this time by O'Halpine. But even if Geraghty doesn't get the ball cleanly himself, he touches it down and others are coming in anticipating. It's one of their tactics. This is Owen Sexton. Beautiful ball inside for Joe Kavanagh. Takes up a very good position. Towards Clifford, holds onto it well. Cormac Murphy breathing down his neck and doing a little more than breathing. He's fouled the Cork man, and it's a free in for the Munster champions.
Yes, and in fairness to Clifford, he's the one man in the Cork full forward line who's really showing for every ball that's going in there, and he's been winning most of them. Cormac Murphy sticking very tight to him, but Clifford, it must be said, is doing very well.
Philip Clifford, that right knee very heavily strapped up there. It's an old injury that he had when he was about 18 years of age, but he's done really well to re-establish himself as a very fine forward. He boots with the left and he scores once again. A second pointed free by Philip Clifford. a crucial point coming close to half-time. The match now in injury time at the end of the opening 35 minutes, and just a goal between the teams.
Yes, and Cork have made the switch that we were talking about earlier. Kieran O'Sullivan now over on Evan Kelly, and Martin Cronin gone across to take Nigel Nestor on the other side.
Again, they belt it down here towards John McDermott, but it's fisted back by Nicholas Murphy, the Cork midfielder, picked up by Paddy Reynolds, on for John McDermott. Owen Sexton trying to close in. Inside towards Evan Kelly once more, his new marker, number 5, just behind him. And Kelly, for once, has missed an opportunity. 5 wides from Meath, and the referee with a shrill whistle at the end of the first half. It's been Meath's half, really. They've taken their chances. Cork have kicked too many wides, and so far in that first half, Cork have kicked 7 wides, but Ollie Murphy's goal after 25 minutes separates the teams going in at the break. It was a very well taken one. And at half-time, here at Croke Park in the 1999 All-Ireland football final, it's Meath 1-5, Cork 5 points. Okay, well, that's the view of Conor Coonahan. And the referee, Michael Curley from Galway, is about to restart. And this is the trophy, of course, the Sam Maguire Cup, whose ribbons will be on it close to 5 o'clock. Second half is underway. John McDermott once again. Now Meath with that little breeze behind them for the second 35 minutes. Trevor Giles picking out Ollie Murphy beautifully here. Anthony Lynch certainly having his hands full this afternoon. Back to Giles once more. This time a good run by Donald Curtis. Hoping to pop it over the bar, but it's Graham Geraghty who takes it instead, and he goes down, and it's a penalty. A penalty for Meath in the very first minute of the second half. Michael Curley was in absolutely no doubt. Once Meath had taken possession, once it was belted in, as the rain pours down yet again at Croke Park, Meath have this glorious chance now to put even further distance between themselves and the Munster champions. It's Trevor Giles to kick it. Kevin O'Dwyer in goal. He saved it. A save by Kevin O'Dwyer. Cork get a lead off. Well, that miss by Trevor Giles, will that be a very costly one at the end of 70 minutes? Still just a goal between the teams. Kieran O'Sullivan taking the free kick. Held there by Podsy O'Mahony, who's had a good match so far. Good block down by John McDermott, really threw himself at that. Well, what about that penalty miss, Colin?
Well, Kevin O'Dwyer obviously had his homework done. Trevor Giles of course scored a penalty into that right corner against Mayo in '96. O'Dwyer obviously knew which direction it was going to go.
And this time the direction which Cork are going is via Philip Clifford, and that ball's gone over the bar. His third point, first from play. Rain really lashing down here now, but suddenly just 2 points between the teams.
Yes, and an incredible turning point. Instead of 6 points being in it, there's only 2 now.
This was the penalty, and the save by Kevin O'Dwyer. He tried to place it, didn't hit it particularly hard or particularly well, but a good save nonetheless by Kevin O'Dwyer. And if Meath lose the match by a point, they'll probably think back and say, well, maybe you should have kicked it over the bar altogether. But when you get penalties, I guess you have to go for that goal chance. Here's Trevor Giles. Meath will be hoping that that doesn't upset his composure. And so Owen Sexton gets it back to Ronan McCarthy, the right corner back. Giles back there to challenge Martin Cronin. Philip Clifford, very difficult ball for him to take, but it bounces back towards Joe Kavanagh, trying to play it into the space beyond Cormac Murphy. Good tracking back by Meath's number 4, however. McManus, who's had a great match, towards Nigel Nestor, trying to break it to somebody. Kieran O'Sullivan quickly to Owen Sexton, back out to Martin Cronin once again. Here's Micheál O'Sullivan. Mark O'Sullivan, one of those players who might be under a bit of pressure from the management to get more and more into this match. He's got a point so far. One of just 4 scorers for Cork so far in the game.
So Cork must be setting a record for kicking balls over the line. Micheál O'Sullivan, very, very poor kicking throughout this match.
Mark O'Reilly rather, that's fisted down by Trevor Giles. Kieran O'Sullivan. Here's Dom Davis, back around his own half-back line, come midfield. Loves to run straight at teams. Getting assistance here from Micheál O'Sullivan. Now Joe Kavanagh. 2 points between the teams. Lots of dummies being sold, it's still Kavanagh. Having assistance and support there, Podsy O'Mahony back to Joe Kavanagh once again. Joe Kavanagh with a goal chance, it's a goal for Cork! Into the second half, Cork lead for the very first time in the All-Ireland final, and this was hand-passed into Joe Kavanagh, and back once again. He got a goal in the 93 final, he's got a goal now against Meath in the 99 final, and the scoreline right now is Cork 1-6, Meath 1-5. Anybody's match, and it's a lot more open a game than people were speculating on beforehand. That's good work by Martin Cronin, dispossessing Nigel Nestor. Up towards Mark O'Sullivan. Mark O'Reilly sticking to his task, however. Paddy Reynolds trying to get it away. John McDermott's there as well. Here's Reynolds. Now Evan Kelly, star of the first half. And this time it's broken by Donald Curtis down for Ollie Murphy. Looks for another goal! He was very close. Donald Curtis broke it for him, and he's anticipating time and again. It was a really close call that time.
Yes, there was a hint of a penalty about that. Anthony Lynch stranded outside. He should have learned his lesson the first half. Ollie Murphy nearly tipping it in, but what a brilliant goal by Joe Kavanagh. Sort of a trademark goal from him. The dummy first to sell it to the man coming to tackle him and then sticking it in the net. He's done that so often for Cork.
Trevor Giles gets it back. There's a buzz of anticipation among the Cork crowd, not just because of the goal, but because Fionn Murray is about to come in. The man with the goal touch. Here's O'Halpine. Out to Ronan McCarthy. Fionn Murray not in the match just yet. He's on the sideline waiting. Waiting for possession is Graham Geraghty. Looking for the score here. Graham hits it. But he's hit it over the bar, yes! He got it right. The umpires had a look at one another, and that was beautifully measured by Graham Geraghty, his first point of the match. And here is Fionn Murray, goals against Limerick, goals in the Munster final against Kerry, and of course a goal as well in the semi-final. And Mark O'Sullivan has been taken off the Cork team. It's 1-6 to 1-6. Beautifully balanced. Kieran O'Sullivan. A foul on the Cork number 5. It'll be a free kick for the Munster champions. A disappointed Mark O'Sullivan takes his place back on the bench. Frank Murphy there on the right-hand side pointing something that's happening out on the field, but that's confirmation of the change. Fionn Murray, the new man in. Straight away he required attention.
Well, it must be said that it's been a great sporting hard game up to now. It'd be a pity if there was any incidents in it. Cork persisting with the short passing in defence, which is causing them a lot of trouble. They're the more dominant team in terms of possession, and really with the amount of possession they have, they should be in front.
The referee is calling aside Mark O'Reilly for that foul on Fionn Murray. Murray was barely on the pitch 30 seconds, I suppose, before he was hit. And he's had his number recorded. There is no booking for that. This is Kieran O'Sullivan. That was an earlier incident involving Trevor Giles. This is Podsy O'Mahony. Match all square. Early stages of the second half. Podsy O'Mahony trying to go through. No foul. Referee says play on. Podsy's annoyed. John McDermott doing great work. Back there helping out his defence. Providing the leadership. This is Donald Curtis, broke down a good ball earlier on for Ollie Murphy, which might have produced another Meath goal, but didn't do so. But this is produced a Meath free. Darren Fay will take it. Son of Jimmy, former Meath star himself. Huge one down. Good catch this time by Anthony Lynch. Here's O'Halpine. He's played a good game. Micheál O'Sullivan outside to Don Davis. The play anywhere, number 14. This is Ronan McCarthy. Way up from right corner back. John McDermott about to challenge. McCarthy almost running out of space. This is Fionn Murray. He's left it behind to Mark O'Reilly. And Mark O'Reilly is a very tight marking and tough defender. And this time the referee is going to isolate one of the Meath players for this latest foul, and it's John McDermott who is being spoken to, and it looks like he's going to get a yellow card for that. Referee still having words, and that is the yellow card for John McDermott. So now 2 yellow cards for Meath players. They're Hank Traynor and John McDermott. This free to Cork, about to be taken by Podsy O'Mahony. Oh, he slipped as he was hitting it, but still got enough power on that in towards Don Davis, but Don's shooting isn't good. Another wide for Cork. So still 1-6 to 1-6. Tense afternoon right now at Croke Park. Hope you're enjoying the occasion and the tension. With people like Paddy O'Brien watching this in Beijing, would you believe it? John Ring in San Francisco, and I hope that Dara in London is enjoying it as well. Nicholas Murphy jumping with 2 Meath players. Martin Cronin challenged there by Hank Traynor. This is Micheál O'Sullivan to Micheál O'Cronin. Shouldered well there by Nigel Nestor. Spills out to Don Davis, going through 4 Meath players before he gets it back to O'Sullivan. Inside, but it's touched back by Darren Fay, and anticipating as ever is Mark O'Reilly. Donald Curtis, the only Meath player over that particular corner right now. Plenty of Cork men. This is Owen Sexton. Kieran O'Sullivan pushing forward. Trevor Giles trying to close down that space into Podsy O'Mahony. Somehow Meath managed to get that ball back. That was almost impossible to do, but they managed to do so. Comes out once again. And Kieran O'Sullivan with that hit and hope one. But again, the ball has gone wide. And there are now 10 wides for Cork in this match on a very wet afternoon. This was that move there involving Joe Kavanagh, taking it back beautifully, and an absolutely wonderful goal right in past Cormac O'Sullivan. So 2 very good goals in this match so far, and a number of goal chances. Fisted back by Nicholas Murphy, line ball to Meath. And Faulkner Collins is being prepared on the far side. Faulkner, who scored the first of Cork's goals in the Munster final win against Kerry. Here's Don Davis. Cormac Murphy, who's doing a policing job on him, but that time he fouls the policeman, the Garda based in Bantry. Micheál O'Sullivan. Fionn Murray trying to get inside Mark O'Reilly. A goal a game in his last 3 matches. That one was partially blocked down. Evan Kelly coming into his own half-back line to take possession. John McDermott. Only one man to aim at, and the one man gets it in the end. That's a Trevor Giles. Donald Curtis. Ronan McCarthy trying to block him. Might have done just enough to unsettle the wing forward. Donald Curtis got a very, very fine point in the first half.
Well, tight games like this, are generally decided by a moment of genius. We've had it already from Ollie Murphy and Joe Kavanagh. It would be hard to see a team who'd score another goal losing the game. Cork have been on top for the last 5 or 10 minutes, as they were for a period in the first half, and didn't put Meath away. I'm sure Meath will come back into it possession-wise.
Once again, it's Don Davis. That's belted away, however, by Hank Traynor. Down towards Ollie Murphy. Anthony Lynch trying to dispossess him, trying to drag him down. In the end, he does so, and that has to be a free-in. Well, he's protesting that he was being pulled and dragged as well, but the referee not interested. He's given the free kick to Ollie Murphy's team. So an opportunity here for Trevor Giles to kick a handy point.
Yes, Anthony Lynch is having his problems with Ollie Murphy. A bit surprising that Cork don't shift Ronan McCarthy over him. Ronan McCarthy, of course, did very well on Maurice Fitzgerald in the Munster final and would look more like a man marker.
No surprise that Faulkner Collins has just come into the action. Haven't seen who's made way just yet. And that is kicked over the bar. Trevor Giles with his second point from a free. So Meath lead in this All-Ireland final, but it's by the narrowest of margins. Now the player who's gone off the Cork team, by the way, is Micheál O'Croneen, being replaced by Faulkner Collins. Needs a bit of reshaping. Collins has gone in on the 40. He was contesting there with that kick out to midfield. Sean O'Halpine. This is towards Podsy O'Mahony, and he is dispossessed by Paddy Reynolds. Evan Kelly. Knocked down towards Ollie Murphy once again. Plenty of Cork players there. Ronan McCarthy only touches it down to Donald Curtis. Cork put under pressure, and Graham Geraghty in the end sliding in there on Micheál O'Sullivan, something which you can't do. So it's a free to Cork. Martin Cronin with the free towards Philip Clifford. Just put off his stride there somewhat by Cormac Murphy. John McDermott unable to take it up the first time of asking. Here's Murphy once more. Again, plenty of defenders back there. Martin Cronin. This is Ronan McCarthy. Micheál O'Sullivan. Don Davis coming, looking. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan. Towards Fionn Murray, playing atop of the left, dispossessed straight away here by Mark O'Reilly. Evan Kelly. Intended for Ollie Murphy, won back by Owen Sexton. Mops up a lot of that loose ball in the half-back line. This time he is fouled by Ollie Murphy, an unfair shoulder, the referee decides. Meath don't agree. Free to Cork. Here's Martin Cronin. Ronan McCarthy with 20 minutes to go. And that is lost once again by Podsy O'Mahony, and Paddy Reynolds looking completely in control. And O'Halpine gets out ahead of Graham Geraghty. That's been his tactic and it has worked so far. Nicholas Murphy. Ronan McCarthy again seeing that there are loose players about. Sexton locating Podsy O'Mahony. Anxious again to run at the Meath half-back line. Trying to find gaps. Hank Traynor getting in there, and the referee says the shoulder was into the back of the Cork man, and a free to Cork. This free is about 30 metres out from goal, and an opportunity for Cork once again to draw level. It'll be Philip Clifford who will kick it. Well, he's just taken off his gloves while he can concentrate fully on the next couple of moments. Tension everywhere. Struck just inside the left-hand post and over the bar. 4 points for Philip Clifford. Teams are level for the third time in the All-Ireland football final, where it's Cork 1-7, Meath 1-7.
Yes, and Philip Clifford doing a lot to keep Cork in the game. People probably wondering, looking at television, why Cork are persisting with short passing and soloing. A lot of their forwards are not showing for the ball, so the backs in particular have to carry the ball.
This time it's broken down to Don Davis again. Really works so hard in midfield when he comes out from full forward. McManus in over the head of Kieran O'Sullivan, missed by Ollie Murphy, but not so by Graham Geraghty. They almost get him on another's way. Graham Geraghty scored an almost impossible point a little earlier in the game, and this time he hits it again, and this time he replicates the action. Same result, and a second for Graham Geraghty, and they are absolutely thrilled up on Hill 16. The supporters of Meath have seen their team go back in front once more. It's a compelling All-Ireland football final, and Meath are 1-8, Cork 1-7. Cork having made 2 changes to their starting 15 already. Meath are content and happy with the way things are going for their starting team. Martin Cronin, and that is carried out over the sideline by John McDermott. And Sean Boylan there having a little word with some of the county board officials. Maybe there's a name to be written there by Liam Craven or Fintan Ginnity. Broken down by Cormac Murphy, won by Hank Traynor, swallowed up by Cork players, however. They want him to hold on and foul the ball, and he does so, and Cork have got the free in. Faulkner Collins did really well in that instance. He just stood there. He's a very imposing man, the number 19, and Michael Curley, the referee, said you held on too long. Clifford got the last one. Again, the gloves have been taken off. It looks like Meath are about to bring in Richie Keeley into their team. Clifford has taken 3 frees so far. He's converted all 3. This is about the same distance out as the last time. Meath have put up a wall in front of him, but it doesn't unsettle him one little bit, and he's put it over the bar once more. 5 points for Clifford, giving leadership. They're giving support. And the scoreline right now reads Cork 1-8, Meath 1-8. So Richie Keeley is now in the match, the number 21 for Meath. He's gone down into their attack, and I'm not sure who has left the fray just yet. The referee also isn't quite sure. He's waiting to see who's going, and it's going to be Nigel Nestor. So the number 10 goes, the number 21 is on. 15 minutes to play. John McDermott breaks it down. Here's Keeley, first test. Back to Trevor Giles. Nigel Crawford, well, intent upon going on a little solo. Didn't quite work out for him. And Trevor Giles has kicked it to the left. Meath fans, I'm sure, a bit annoyed with the wides that they've had, but, well, they're still level. They've had 8 wides so far, Meath. Cork have been the more wasteful of the 2 teams in that particular department. Faulkner Collins challenging there with Enda McManus, breaks for John McDermott. Back from Trevor Giles, comes back from Keeley once again to Giles. Well, now, who's got the greater appetite? They're both tremendously fit teams. And as Colin O'Rourke was saying a little while ago, it may just take a little lucky break somewhere. Joe Kavanagh, inside for Philip Clifford. Clifford has Kavanagh in support, manages to locate him. The goal scorer earlier in this half. That's a good-looking kick by Joe Kavanagh, and it floats. Well, from here it looked like it had gone over the bar, but the umpire was nice and calm and cool about it and said, no, wide. So another really good chance has gone a-begging, and that is now 11 wides for Cork.
Well, if Cork lose this, they certainly will rue all those wides. A lot of them fairly easy kicks for forwards of the calibre that we should have here today.
Fisted back by Faulkner Collins once again. Here's Clifford. Oh, he scooped that off the ground. It's got to be a free, and tempers flare a little bit here. Thankfully it doesn't get out of hand. Free to Meath. Trevor Giles. Huge one down towards Graham Geraghty, but it carries and carries, and in the end goes off the leg of Sean O'Halpine, I think. Well, down in the Nally stand, plenty of young supporters down there. Well, it's going to be Cork's sideline ball. McCarthy to take it. Here's Micheál O'Sullivan, the midfielder. Graham Geraghty kicks it away, however, to Trevor Giles, looking for a lead point for Meath, but not with that particular kick. But it has been touched by one of the backs, and it's a 45. And I think that is the first we've had in the match so far. So possession for Meath. There's Sean Boylan there with his fellow selectors, of course, Frank Foley and Eamon O'Brien. Eamon on the left-hand side. Can they hatch a plan to win Meath's 7th All-Ireland final victory? Cork going for their 7th as well, but now under a bit of pressure.
Yes, in normal circumstances you'd expect Giles to put this over. Wet ball, wet boots, wet ground. It's much more difficult.
Well, he's made little of the conditions because he has floated over the bar for his 3rd point of this match, and Meath lead once more. A beautifully kicked 45 by Trevor Giles from screen. Up on the hill, the Meath fans are hopeful. They lead 1-9 to 1-8. Broken down once again. And Enda McManus, who's worked really hard in the centre half-back position, locating Donald Curtis, runs on towards Evan Kelly. 3 points in the first half, nothing in the second, but he has been playing much deeper. Kieran O'Sullivan has been fouled after that ball was kicked away, and it's going to be a free from where the ball lands. And the mentor is there on the sideline for Cork, getting a little animated. But really it is anybody's match. O'Sullivan, that's blocked down there by John McDermott. Comes back once again to the midfielder. Driven in towards Faulkner Collins. Murray's there as well. It comes to Murray! He was looking for his 4th goal in 4 championship matches. This, once again, was the angle that Fionn Murray had. Plenty of the goal to aim at.
Yes, and Cork discovering maybe now that the direct route might pay off.
2 Meath men run into one another. Cork get it back. It's Ronan McCarthy. They're behind by a point. Up to Podsy O'Mahony. Still Podsy. Evan Kelly back, trying to deny him. Darren Fay coming out as well. And that's driven in towards the canal end. A very poor finish in the end by Podsy O'Mahony. Another wide, and I think that's about 12 or 13 in fact at this stage. Let's go down to the sideline to Marty.
Indeed, that last challenge involving Hank Traynor and Kieran O'Sullivan has resulted in an injury for Hank Traynor, and Barry O'Callaghan has been told to warm up. In fact, as I speak to you, Sean Boylan has told Barry, you're in this All-Ireland final. And
Barry, of course, was in as well in 1996, those 2 matches against Mayo when he played a very full role. So Barry O'Callaghan coming in.
Yes, and Meath will restructure Donald Curtis going back to right half back, a position that he'd be happier playing in anyway, and Barry Callaghan will come in at corner forward.
But it's been one of the great successes for Sean Boylan in particular, the way he's been able to adapt players like Hank Traynor, you mentioned Donald Curtis, Nigel Nestor, all very adaptable players.
No doubt about that. There's been 3 or 4 backs created into forwards over the year. The latest being Graham Geraghty, and I suppose Donald Curtis and Nigel Nestor fit that bill as well.
Mickey O'Donovan from West Cork has just come in to the Cork team, and Podsy O'Mahony has been replaced. So the 2nd game in a row, Podsy has finished the match sitting on the bench. So Cork have now played their full hand in this. That was Anthony Lynch getting out there just ahead of Ollie Murphy. Here's Sholago Halpine. Difficult one for Kieran O'Sullivan. He had Evan Kelly coming in behind him. Meath look for another score. Cork deny them. And then the boot goes flying in, and Meath will have the free kick. Richie Keeley was fouled that time. That's Micheál O'Sullivan there from Carbery Rangers. But it's a free kick for Meath, and a chance to put 2 points between the teams with only about 8 minutes remaining. Trevor Giles taking lots and lots of time over this. Interesting that Mickey O'Donovan has come in, the number 17, ordinarily would be a corner back, one of the best cornerbacks in the country during the league, but he's now up in the corner forward spot. Giles kick, and once again the cheers of the Meath fans, because he's landed it right between the posts. His 4th point, all of them coming from frees, 1 of 45, all valuable because Meath have a 2-point lead. Kevin O'Dwyer Nigel Crawford breaking it down. Once again it's Trevor Giles trying to take a firm command of this match. He's fouled. Martin Cronin doing the fouling. Jersey pulled. Free quickly taken. Donald Curtis couldn't quite hold on to it. Cronin gets it back. Don Davis putting the head down in determined fashion. John McDermott chasing after him. It's still Don Davis. Cork have missed so many opportunities in this final. This is Micheál O'Sullivan, and this one ends up where so many have gone in the past. A very, very poor finish. They'll be bitterly disappointed with the shooting of their forwards and midfielders.
Yes, and in position like this, Ger, Meath 2 points up. They normally win games like this because a lot of their forwards will retreat back and make life very difficult for Cork to score. Cork probably need to get a goal. It's hard to see them getting one.
Yeah, it's looking like a Cork goal is urgently required if they're to win this final. This is Richie Keeley. Meath with their noses in front at a vital time in the contest. In towards Barry Callaghan. Barry playing up at the forward line. Back to Keeley once again. And that one has gone away to the right. Still just 2 points between them. And as you can see from the clock in the top left-hand corner, about 5 minutes remaining. O'Sullivan breaking it down, but he breaks it down for a Meath man, and that Meath man is Trevor Giles, who has fouled subsequently. Free once again for the Royal County. That's Faulkner Collins, very, very valuable player. The referee just instructing the Cork half-back, Martin Cronin, to retreat 13 metres. Giles, can he get another one? Not on this particular occasion. That's 10 wides by Meath, an awful lot of wides in this final. It's almost been the story of both finals this year in hurling and in football. That's once again won by Trevor Giles. A clever ball into Graham Geraghty, takes up a good position, gets out ahead of his man, and then he kicks it, and he kicks it over the bar. Graham Geraghty's third. 3 shots on target, 3 points by the Meath captain, and I think they've got the scent of victory in their nostrils. It's 111 to 1-8. Faulkner Collins, that's beaten as it's fisted away by Nigel Crawford. Picked up once again here, Barry Callaghan. Evan Kelly, back towards Ollie Murphy. Meath rampant at this stage in towards Graham Geraghty. Meath, who missed a penalty in the very first minute of the second half, have a 3-point lead. Geraghty once again. Great block down by Sean O'Gallagher. It's back with Giles once more. Here's Graham Geraghty, opening it out. Evan Kelly, challenged there by Ciarán O'Sullivan, who's been his marker since the latter stage of the first half. Well, just a moment ago here, this was a tremendous block down here by Sean O'Gallagher. He's had a very good match. And all of those people who said that his display in the full back line was suspect, well, they've got their answer this afternoon.
Yes, I was one of the doubting Thomases of Sean O'Gallagher being at full back, but he's been probably the best player on the Cork team, along with Philip Clifford, given outstanding display of forward play.
This is what happened just moments ago there, as the ball was carried out there by Ciarán O'Sullivan.
Yes, and the linesman has called attention to the incident, and he is now given a free to Meath.
Ollie Murphy, the one who takes it, and that's gone out of play. 2 minutes to go, and a little bit of injury time perhaps. The amateur whistlers for Meath encouraging the referee. Meath, I think, would be happier if they could get another point to put 4 between them. They're working towards it once again, and Trevor Giles had the opportunity. But he must be quite exhausted at this stage. It's been one of those matches where the ground has certainly taxed the energy of the players. And now what they have, they want to hold.
Yes, Meath leaving the door open a little bit, should have killed the game off in the last 5 minutes.
Cork get it back once more. Martin Cronin trying to go forward, and he was hit high that time by Barry Callahan. And the referee will go across to the man who came on as a substitute for Meath. And he has recorded his number. Meath bringing as many players back as possible. Cork know what they must do. They've got to get a goal. And the Meath defence standing firm. Paddy Reynolds there arguing his point with the linesman, Pat McEnany. Perhaps one last chance. Mickey O'Donovan dispossessed by Ollie Murphy. Look how far back the corner forward is. Threaded beautifully in here to Barry Callahan. Are Cork to be denied the double? This is Micheál O'Sullivan. Back to Kieran O'Sullivan once more. Inside the last minute. Martin Cronin pushing forward. Mickey O'Donovan slipping there but still holding possession. Donald Curtis back to challenge. Here's Kieran O'Sullivan. Fionn Murray and Mark O'Reilly was out there. And that ball running, and in the end, Darren Fay and his goalkeeper decide, let it go wide. Defiant Meath men up in there in the new canal end. Tommy Dowd is being tugged off to come on for the last few seconds to share in what looks like being victory for the Royal County. Those with shirts on, those without. And the big cheer now as
this would be a great moment for Tommy and Meath, for a man to come back after 3 months from a serious back operation. Tremendous moment for him, one he truly deserves.
Well, he's not in just yet. You said it would be a miracle. Of course, if he does come on, it'll take up another second or two. All of this will frustrate the Cork men. Cork want the ball back quickly, and Pat McEnany is right alongside the player who's taking the free. Mickey O'Donovan and the referee now halting the play. And now, the very popular Tommy Dowd, a sub in 1990, when Meath were defeated by Cork, and now he comes on once again to share, perhaps in a glory moment at the end of the 90s. Evan Kelly has made way, but really it's just a chance to get the great man on. He's gone into full forward. How much time is the referee going to allow? A minute of injury time has been played. O'Donovan kicking past Joe Kavanagh. Darren Fay holding on to it right at the end line. Cork were appealing that he stepped out over the end line. Still appealing. And it's all over, and Meath are the All-Ireland football champions from 1999. They took their chances. John McDermott delighted. The Meath fans really savouring the moment. Meath were champions in 1996 after a replay. This time around, no replay needed. A disappointed Cork team denied the double. That's Owen Sexton on his knees there, but they had so many wides, and that was one of the features of the match. Cork kicked 15 wides, Meath kicked 12, but Meath kicked the scores as well to win the match by 3 points. Graham Geraghty got 3 very, very valuable scores. I think all of them in the second half of the game, after Evan Kelly had been one of the scoring stars of the opening 35 minutes. So no double for Cork this year. Cork the hurling champions, Meath the football champions. They've won the Sam Maguire Cup for the 7th time.
Ach, is sé inniu lá na mí, agus mar sin, is cóismór áthascom, Curran Sam Maguire, the chréibh wang na héireann, sa fel, sínsir, a bhrunna captain na mí, Graham Geraghty.
So Joe McDonough, GA president, presents Sam Maguire to Graham Geraghty, and Meath are the football champions. Liam McCarthy will spend the year in Cork, but Sam goes down the road to the Royal County. John McDermott celebrates, they celebrate. It's been a great last 15 years really for Meath. Sean Boylan at the helm throughout all those years, and another success.
Rugdan the hen, Rugdan the Cuman Askel, a Taoiseach of the Land Dini, the Sporn Curran Shaw Glacka,
the sun count to me. I'd like to thank a lot of people here today. First of all, I'd like to thank my teammates. They're going on tough out there today. They stuck in, dug in deep, and they paid off in the finish. I'd also like to thank one man in particular. Since 1982, he took over Meath. And somehow, he seems to be able to come up with our Ireland champions. He's done it in 87, 88, 96, and now he's done it again in 99. That's Sean Boylan! There's more to this team than Sean Boylan. We have two selectors as well, Aaron O'Brien, Frank Foley, who've done some work over the winter. We also have a background team, I'd like to thank them as well. I'd also like to thank Cork for a great game here today. They were nip and tuck there to the finish, and they could have went anyway in the end. I'd like to give the 3 cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Right.
So this new format of presentation, which I think is going to be very much with us in the future, and there's plenty of debate about that. I know some people prefer to see the cup presented in the Hogan stand, but I think they like the idea of the team being able to do a lap of honour in glory at the end of it all. The Meath fans staying on, why wouldn't they? Mark O'Reilly there. What do you think of it, Colin?
Well, I'm one of the ones that agree with this. A lot of people like to get onto the pitch. I'd like to see the public maybe to be able to come onto the pitch afterwards when the players have gone. But it's nice to be able to do this lap of honour. But it's a tremendous day for me, a tremendous day for Sean Boylan. He has now built 2 completely separate teams to win All-Irelands. A great day for my club mates, John McDermott and Trevor Giles. And I'm also glad it didn't finish in a draw. now we'll be able to go to Australia. Also for Graham Geraghty, he really paid his way in the second half with those 3 great points.
Absolutely.
But I think it should be noted too, Cork showed their true sportsmanship with the presentation ceremony. All the players, all the officials, everybody stayed on the pitch. It was nice to see that.
Well, this is something we're going to get used to, and of course something we always get used to is seeing Tommy Dowd come on. He came on for the last couple of seconds, and now the Meath team going down to Hill 16 to take the applause from their fans, wonderful fans who've enjoyed the successes over the years. And as Sean Boylan said a little while ago, victory in 1949, and now 50 years later, after they've celebrated that success down in Navan recently, they can celebrate another one. Evan Kelly, number 13 up there, Darren Fay as well, and Mark O'Reilly, who had to do a marking job first of all on Mark O'Sullivan and then on Fionn Murray. And the most anybody managed to get out of him for the afternoon was 1 point. And there were other stars, looking at that marvellous half-back line, Paddy Reynolds, Enda McManus and Hank Traynor. The band is on, as you can see, the crowds stay off, and the team is just able to celebrate. Well, some lucky people did manage to get on there, those connected with the team and the backroom people, and a wonderful ovation now for Sean Boylan. His family are here as well, his wife Tina. This is a glorious moment for him.
Well, that's the photograph there, I think, to dominate 1,000 papers, with Sean with the cup over his head.
Yes, a much-loved character. Commiserations to Cork, who gave it everything.